guys, today on Flights we're at 33 Acres in Brewery Creek in Vancouver. Now, the motto behind the name of this brewery is success through hard work, so let's go see how it paid off.
I was in design for 10 years. I was where I wanted to be, but it just wasn't fulfilling my kind of urge to be creative, and it was always stumped by some guy telling me that I needed to change this or do this, you know. I ended up quitting my kind of freelance lifestyle in Los Angeles. At that point, I was still kind of searching for something. Then I just kind of thought of the idea of like, what better thing to dig my teeth into than beer, you know? As a designer, we meet up over a beer or a coffee, you know? No matter who you're meeting up with, to do a project, it's over a beer or a coffee. So I just consider those things as a catalyst to collaboration and to building something.
Is it important to have strong partnerships when we're in a business like this?
Absolutely. No, I can definitely agree that there's days that we don't like each other, but there's a lot more days that we do. There's definitely a lot of things that we see the same. There's things that we differ on, but that's where we can put our heads together and come up with really cool solutions to problems.
I love minimal design, super simple, clean. When we first opened, we had 2 beers on tap, no signs, you know. I wanted 2 guys standing there and actually conversing to people about what that beer was, not a sign saying India Pale Ale, you know, 7%, 60 IBUs.
Right.
Do you want it? You know, I wanted a lot of conversation. Later on, after several Yelp reviews saying, why the hell don't they have signs? You know, we adjust and change and kind of adapt.
Josh had a very clear vision of how he wished to present this brewery and the brand, and I just fell in love with it. It was great.
Yeah. What was the biggest part that appealed to you?
It was a very classic look, just from the logo itself, from 33 Acres Brewing Company, the original logo.
Yeah.
And it really reminded me of something timeless and permanence, which I found appealing. The aesthetic here is minimal, clean. You get your point across quite easily. It seemed kind of natural to do certain beers that, I can't say it's not a whole lot going on, but there's a little more subtlety towards the styles of beer that were being made. Definitely a clean character was pretty important.
I walked in the front and the whole frontage was different. It was covered in like 6 different panes in each and all this ugly stuff. And I just looked at my realtor and just said like, okay man, we've been doing this for a year now. Like, don't you understand what I'm looking for? Once he opened the back door and I saw the like 18-foot ceiling and the mezzanine overlooking the brewery space, it was like, wow, this is perfect.
What are you hoping that people will take away from their experience here?
Beer's all about collaboration, and it's kind of a catalyst. We use our beer and our coffee as that. We want other people to have their blank canvas here so they can create themselves.
We sit down together as often as we can, and we'll try other beers from other breweries. We look for inspiration through social media as well and see what people are doing, and at the same time we also look back to Dave and his inspirations. He's been brewing for, I think it's 21 years now.
Oh, wow.
But Dave's got a lot of experience behind him and a lot of knowledge into very classic styles. Same idea of this tasting room is that catalyst for collaboration. We have a couple of beers, we have a couple of ciders, over a couple of coffees, and we chat about it, throw ideas around, put our heads together, and just come up with stuff.
What I've always sort of prided myself upon was to make beers that people identified with and were quite loyal to the beer itself. Josh is really good at pushing me towards trying something different, try a different yeast. For instance, the Genesis series, we basically dedicated one of our fermenters with the whole intent of just doing an IPA, roughly about 7%.
Yeah.
And anything after that, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
That was basically given carte blanche. If we want to use these hops, that's fine. If you want to use this yeast, that's fine.
Yeah.
But playing within different subcategories or there's different substyles within the IPAs. So our first one, we used a Vermont ale yeast and we used some Mosaic hops and some Citra and some Simcoe. That's our means of research as well.
Yeah.
Something that's really good, we lock it in our hard drives, and we make sure we bring it out at another point in time.
Do you have a single beer you're the most proud of?
Life, the California Common. I like that beer. It's certainly one of those beers that doesn't stand out, but after the course of you trying your beers, everybody comes back to it. Almost everybody.
And that's kind of the 33 Acres flagship.
That was one of the first beers we started off with. Ocean does really, really well, and I'm quite proud of that one as well.
So you guys name your beers kind of pretty interesting names like Euphoria, Darkness, Sunshine. Where do the names come from? Like, how do you guys think of a name for a beer?
They're playful and fun, but at the same time, we really try to put deep meaning behind our names that we don't want people to really understand or get what we're thinking, but people that could break it down may figure it out.
Sometimes we discuss it. We decide on a beer that we're going to make. I let Josh come up with a name and how he wishes to present it to the public. And sometimes he's got an idea for a name, and then I try and figure out a beer that goes around it.
Some of our write-ups were getting pretty weird and out there at times, but it's just fun for us. They tell stories and the mood that maybe I'm in during writing them or pitching people to write them.
When people come here for a beer, what do you hope they expect to leave with?
I've taken it as a real compliment when somebody comes up to me and says, wow, that beer really reminds me of when I went to San Francisco and I tried Anchorstein. Holy cow, that really reminds me of it. Or they were in Belgium and they've tried our Euphoria, our Belgian triple. I was like, oh, wow, that was really on par. And so it gives me that feedback that like, going, yeah, I'm on the right track. So to have people understand when they try it, they go, this reminds me of an experience, a place they've been.
Every time a new brewery is opened, we've seen more people again that are coming into this neighborhood. And at the same time, people here turn over quicker. They come by here for a couple of beers, then they'll go to Brass Neck, then they go down the street to Faculty, and then they bounce around into the neighborhood because now it's an actual bit of a tourist destination for beer. And then we also have Ernest Ice Cream opening up, Cardam's Donuts down the street. That's kind of neat too, to see a slightly different dynamic of people coming down for snacks and beers.
Right.
We've worked with those guys a lot as well, where we even carry their stuff in our tasting room and collaborate with lots of other local businesses that are producing food.
To get passionate over something is really great, but after a while, you kind of have to see beyond that. So teaching my guys to work on the floor, different skills, different processes, watching them grow as brewers, watching people that I've trained in the past move on, that's a pretty cool feeling.
Is that a kind of an aspect you didn't really expect to?
That is something I didn't expect, yeah. But it's really great seeing them when they're doing well.
What would you say is the best part about working at 33 Acres?
Oh, it's a beer, of course.
Drinking the beer or making the beer? Or sharing the beer?
It's both. It's all of them. And when you get to make a beer, you get to have it, and you go, yeah, that's really close to what I wanted to make. And then you just see people enjoying the product as well. It's always a complimentary feeling.
The amount of people that we see parking their butts in here for the first time, like being in a craft brewery and watching their eyes get big, and they're getting excited about the fact that when they walk in and say, what's your lightest beer? And we give them Life, which has a bit of a darker hue to it. What is this?
Yeah.
And seeing them come back a week later after they've been to 6 other breweries and they're just so excited and they've become craft beer enthusiasts.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting to see.